There is a belief in the spiritual community that if you just stay positive, raise your vibration, and focus on love and light, everything will eventually fall into place. And yes, positive energy is very powerful. But here's what most people aren't talking about. Positive energy has to have somewhere to land. And when the deeper layers of the psyche are still holding suppressed emotions, unprocessed memories, and old wounds, those layers remain blocked. The energy cannot fully penetrate what the subconscious is still processing. Old pain creates a kind of interference, a closed door that no amount of conscious positive thinking can open from the outside. I'm Katya, and in this video we're going to explore shadow work, what it is, why it's necessary, and how it works hand in hand with Reiki healing. Let's get into it. The concept of shadow comes from the work of Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who believed that the human psyche has both a conscious and an unconscious side. The shadow is the unconscious side. It carries everything you've pushed away over years. Emotions you didn't want to feel, thoughts you didn't want to think, behaviors you didn't want to admit were yours. Maybe you were told as a child that anger was bad, so you suppressed it. Or maybe you were taught that needing help was a weakness, so you locked that part away. Or maybe there were painful experiences that felt like too much to process, so your mind blocked them. That's the shadow. It's not evil, it's simply a part of you that you've been taught to disown. And here's the thing. Just because something is blocked, it doesn't mean it's not affecting you. These hidden parts of you continue shaping your beliefs, your reactions, your relationships, your choices, and even your physical health, all from behind the scenes, without you even realizing it. So why do the shadow work? Why not just keep the focus on the light? Because what lives in your shadow doesn't just stay there quietly. It leaks. It shows up as patterns that keep repeating. The same type of toxic relationship, the same self-sabotage right before something good happens, the same emotional wall that goes up every time you start to feel too vulnerable. Shadow work is the process of turning toward those parts of yourself, not to judge them, but to understand them, not to push them away again, but to integrate them. When you do that, something shifts. The weight you've been carrying begins to dissolve. The patterns start to break. And you begin showing up in your life with a level of authenticity and stability that wasn't possible before. Because you're no longer being pulled in two directions. Jung said that we don't become whole by imagining light. We become whole by meeting the darkness within us and understanding why it's there. That's the real work, and it affects every part of your life. Emotionally, shadow work frees you from unresolved pain that's been directing your decisions. Mentally, it helps you understand your triggers, your automatic reactions, and the beliefs that quietly run the show. Spiritually, it moves the barriers that keep you disconnected from your higher self. In your relationships, it helps you stop projecting your unresolved material onto the people around you and start connecting from a place of real clarity. And physically, this is something most people don't expect. Repressed emotions don't disappear. They settle into the body. They influence the chakras, the nervous system, and the endocrine system. Most chronic physical issues have emotional roots hidden in the shadow. Unprocessed grief can settle in the lungs and chest. Suppressed anger can manifest as tension, inflammation, or digestive issues. Fear that was never released can affect the kidneys and adrenals. Now, this is where Reiki and shadow work become something extraordinary together. Reiki works by bringing harmony and intelligent energy into your system. It flows where it's needed. It supports balance. It facilitates body's own healing intelligence. But if there is emotional congestion sitting in the subconscious, like old wounds, suppressed feelings, unresolved patterns, that congestion can block the flow of energy. Reiki may ease the symptoms, but the root cause is still there. Shadow work goes to the root. When you combine Reiki with shadow work, you're not just managing what's on the surface. You are dissolving the original cause. You're meeting the part of yourself that created the pattern and offering it something it may have never received: understanding, compassion, forgiveness, and integration. That's when real transformation happens. When the shadow is brought into the light, it loses its grip. It stops running the background programs, and your energy, your entire system, becomes lighter and more aligned with who you really are. And now, what I'm about to share with you, the practical shadow work exercises, are real entry points. They will start moving things in you already today. But shadow work, especially combined with Reiki, goes so much deeper than a single video can hold. If you want to do this work at a more profound level, I want to invite you to look into my Reiki Alchemy course. Inside, we go deep into shadow work as a full healing practice. You will learn how to identify shadow emotions in yourself and in your clients, how to trace emotional roots behind physical and energetic imbalances, and how to facilitate healing at the level where the original cause actually lives. This isn't a surface level work. This is a transformation at the root. The link is in the description. Go and take a look. Now let's get into the shadow work exercises. Let's start with the mirror work exercise. Stand in front of the mirror. Look at yourself. Like, really look. For 5 minutes. Let whatever comes up, come up. Judgments, discomfort, criticism. Don't push it away. Then ask yourself, what am I rejecting in myself right now? What am I avoiding or disowning? This exercise is especially powerful for uncovering shadow material around self-image, self-worth, and self-acceptance. Mirror brings that forward. The next exercise is shadow journaling. Each day this week, take 10 to 15 minutes to journal about one negative belief or pattern in your life. Maybe it's the belief that you're not good enough, or that life has to be earned, or maybe that success is for other people, not for you. As you write, explore where that belief came from. Ask yourself, where did I first start feeling this way? What experiences taught me this was true about myself? How has this belief shaped my choices without me even realizing it? You're not trying to fix anything in your journal. You're simply shining the light on what's been operating in the dark. That awareness alone begins to create change. You have to understand that shadow work is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice of self-recognition and self-compassion. And the more you do it, especially in combination with Reiki, the more you'll notice just how much lighter you feel and how much less you're being controlled by negative patterns and negative beliefs. And if you're ready to go all the way with this, to really understand shadow work from inside out, the Reiki Alchemy course is where this journey continues. The link is in the description, and I truly believe it will change the way you practice and the way you heal. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching. Namaste.